What's going on, everyone? Commissioner Tnow here with episode 2 of Tnow Talks. On this week's episode, we have none other than Dilly Bar, the franchise owner of the Best Buds Club here in Indy Gaming League. Check out the episode. We've got a ton of cool topics, and as always, hit that like and subscribe button so you can get notified whenever there's new videos coming out. Enjoy the episode. Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to episode 2 of Tnow Talks. I am here with none other than DillyBar, the franchise owner of the Best Buds Club here in Indie Gaming League. Dilly, appreciate you joining me today. It's going to be a fun show.
Yeah, definitely. I'm excited to be able to be a part of this show. So thanks for inviting me.
Absolutely. Glad to have you on here. Let's talk a little bit about, your involvement here with IGL. Actually, first things first, I got to get this out of the way. Tell us about the Ric Flair profile picture on the IGL website and in your Discord. You must be a big fan if he's your profile picture.
Yeah, so just a little bit about Ric Flair. I mean, who cannot love him? He's one of the most legendary wrestlers out there, and he also has the most iconic, I guess, chant you could say, the woo. So. Yeah, no, he's pretty awesome. I definitely enjoy him as a wrestler, and motivates me every time I go into a match. So
That's what it's all about. Got to have that motivation. Obviously, IGL, there's plenty of competition. How did you discover IGL in the first place?
so a little bit back when I was trying to, like, when we were a little bit of a smaller club. We were looking for a league, just like a fun competitive league to be a part of. And one of my buddies was involved with RSC, and was also
Mm-hmm.
involved with IGL. I couldn't tell you what their name was. It's either, I think, Murloc or Unforgiven that's part of our club. But
Oh, it's definitely got to be Murloc because he was friends with a guy named Namdarin who's been in IGL for a very long time. They were teammates in both IGL and RSC, so I think
okay,
he's a name I recognize.
okay, yeah, it must have been him then. So yeah, I met him playing through ranks one day, and we just started playing, and just decided to wanted to play a little bit of competitive league play. So I was asking him about his experience with IGL and RSC, and kind of steered me towards IGL a little bit. Nothing against RSC. I've never even tried them, but yeah, steered me towards IGL, and here we are.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Well, I'm glad that a referral got you in here, and I know Murloc played in a few seasons, so that's pretty cool to see that that's how you found out about us. I mean, you have the franchise. I feel like you guys have been pretty successful here in IGL. So, what are some of like your more memorable, maybe moments or achievements that you've had since you started playing?
So uh, probably my most personable, memorable achievement was this last season with the team I was playing on. We went 3-3 during the season, and barely made playoffs, barely made the cutoff, the 16th
Mm-hmm.
seed. And basically, from then on, just clawed our way through the playoffs and the tourney champions, and ended up winning it all. So I would say, at least from the competitive mindset, that was probably the most memorable. Um, when it comes to the club, probably the most memorable is the season as well. Just seeing how much growth we've had, internal growth we've had, which with the amount of teams and members and people that are coming out and having a good time. So it's definitely, it's weird to see that we're at where we are.
Yeah. I mean, you guys have had a lot of successful teams. I always recognize your teams in the standings because they're up at the top. I guess minus this 3-3 one, but you won the championship, so all's well that ends well. Um, do you guys have any teams in any of the games besides Rocket League, or is Rocket League the only one that you guys do?
So we were definitely founded upon playing on Rocket League. There's been many attempts for us to try to get involved in other game modes with IGL. The furthest that we've gotten was Killer Queen Black. I actually played with a couple others. Was the best team composed of franchise owners ever assembled.
Yep.
I was on that. We played on that, and then I'm playing on Quantum League this time around. But yeah, primarily pretty much at Rocket League. So that's just what everybody loves to play, and that's where we're at. So
Yeah, I mean, it's always good whenever you have your bread and butter. Everybody enjoys it. You can build a community around that. Obviously, with IGL, Rocket League's our biggest game, so we do tend to see a lot of our franchises, at the very least, like started in that. So a lot of them do kind of expand and dabble maybe here and there in other circuits, like you mentioned. But Rocket League is definitely a driving factor for a lot of franchises. And speaking of Rocket League, you're recently in the Tournament of Champions and the IGL Triathlon. I guess tell us a little bit about kind of what your experience was in some of these one-off tournaments you've been playing in here through IGL.
Yeah. So with the Tournament Champions, I thought it was an amazing experience. It definitely captures the competitive edge that a lot of people were missing out on. I know when IGL really expanded, uh, it got to the point to where from the top you couldn't manage all of the teams, so you had to split them into you know multiple divisions per tier. So kind of miss out on the finals. So I thought that was an awesome experience, and also was kind of fun to extend the season a little bit. So and also having like a lot of those matches streamed and all the hype around them, and it was really exciting time for our team and being able to play with other teams within that tier. And with the triathlon, I thought that was a fun little tournament to be able to just have some good wholesome fun between the commissioners, admin, and franchise owners and the casters and whatnot. So yeah, it was definitely fun little triathlon. I'm excited to see what happens next time around. I assume it's going to be around between the next season again, or
Yeah, I imagine that's probably about the time we look at doing that. And this first one, definitely just a good test to kind of see how it would all work with everybody. And I think it went really well. I had a lot of fun playing in it. I only played in the Brawlhalla portion. And who knows, maybe we'll like change up the games next time as well, get some other people involved. I think, from an organization perspective, it's just those events are a little bit harder to manage, at least for me, with the rest of the circuit and stuff going on. So it was awesome to see, like, I mean, Drunk Cookies really stepped up and spearheaded the triathlon. Sparky and Drunk Cookies were the main ones running the tournament champions. So it was kind of cool to see some people within the community running these events. And I feel like the tournament champions was really awesome, like you said, with being able to get everybody in the rank tier to play against each other for that ultimate trophy. Because you guys got trophies for that, correct? I know you got one for the triathlon. I don't know if I don't think your team won the tournament champions unless I'm remembering incorrectly, but I think there was a possibility to continue to win some trophies through those events, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah. There's a we actually we did we luckily secured the Tournament of Champions trophy for
Oh,
tier two.
nice.
So yeah, it was pretty exciting. That's probably like my biggest shining moment for now, and then the rest of my career will wither away. No, but
Yeah.
yeah, no, there's definitely trophies that you could add to your profile, which is pretty neat, pretty little neat feature. So yeah, I'm really hoping to see the tournament champions expand, and hopefully see a lot more tiers, from all the way down to like tier 5 and 6. I think this time around it was tier 1 through 4. So, but yeah, it was a great experience. So happy to be a part of it and experience it, and looking forward to see all the other teams, see who makes it next time around.
Yeah, that's going to be exciting to keep expanding on that. Well, you mentioned a lot of success here lately with the club, with the franchise, the Best Buds Club. So tell us a little bit more about your franchise, kind of where the idea came from, and you mentioned you've sort of expanded a little bit more here over the recent seasons. So just talk us through a little bit about what it's like owning the franchise and kind of where you guys all came from.
Yeah, definitely. So starting from the beginning, uh, probably I'd say a couple of years ago, especially around the time when Rocket League, shortly before they started having being able to create clubs within Rocket League, we kind of sort of created our own little team there, and from there we just started playing together, and then we created our own like offshoot club called the Best Buds Club, and where the name originated from. So we're kind of like bantering around with like what we wanted to actually land on what name we wanted to actually be known as, and we are like, oh, something esports, or just throwing out names here and there, and somebody came up with the best, like, oh, what about the Buds Club? And I'm like, oh, how about the Best Buds Club? Because we're just trying to be silly. But yeah, we kind of land on the Best Buds Club. It's that way. We kind of like wanted to really capture how we. Oh, oh. Okay, we're still going. Okay. My computer just went dark, so sorry about that.
No
So
problem.
we really wanted to capture the the relaxed side of how we want to conduct ourselves, along with the competitive mindset and spirit, and just be able to overall have like a good time with everybody. So yeah, so basically from there we just kind of stumbled upon the IGL and started. We played a season with IGL and decided we really liked it, and decided to just start a franchise with an IGL. And from there, I mean, season after season, we kind of slowly started getting like, we tried to network with a lot of like our opponents and clubs and franchises, just so we can like get our name out there and like start, make more friends, because that's what we're all about. We just want to get all in this together and have a good time. So, and yeah, I mean, we've organically grown from there, and it's pretty fun time. So
That's awesome. Are you looking to continue growing? Or are you feeling pretty comfortable with the size of the org? Because I guess where that question comes from for me is, I know that there's some franchises within IGL who really just want to expand, 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 and keep growing, and trying to kind of create their own really large community. And then I know there's some who maybe just do it for fun, and then there's some kind of in the middle who maybe want a handful of teams but are pretty good once they hit a set number. Where do you guys kind of see yourself falling in that spectrum?
I'd say probably more so in the middle. We don't mind growing, and at least having some talks with my someone like, I guess my co-manager, you could say, Ann or Chris.
Mm-hmm.
I've talked with him about like how we wanted to go from here, if we wanted to keep expanding organically, or if we wanted to like try to recruit more people and try to like just see how large we can make this and see how much people we can get together. And we kind of landed on, we got to where we are just from like organically growing and like just letting people slowly funnel in that want to be a part of this experience within our club. So we want to keep that going, and if that means we expand more, I don't mind that. But I feel like the important part is to make sure the quality of people the quality is higher with the people coming in, as opposed to just trying to round the masses and just try to make some massive organization. So, because
Sure.
just want to keep the positivity and the good vibes going.
That makes a lot of sense, and it's good to I have an idea of what you're trying to accomplish there. I guess I'll give the people watching this video a chance to maybe polish up their esports resumes here by asking you, what are maybe some of the things you're looking for in potential candidates for your franchise, and maybe if people watching this think that they'd be a good fit, they could check out your info in the IGL Discord.
Yeah, yeah. So basically, what we're looking for, nothing too complex or crazy. We really just want to find some good-hearted people that just want to have fun. People who, from all walks of life, like just people who just want to find a good family to play with and be able to, enjoy playing games together. It doesn't necessarily have to be Rocket League. We have some people in the club playing Deep Rock Galactic, some other Call of Duty, some other games, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, just people who just want to show up and have a good time and hang out. And we have plenty of people who want to compete. We have some people who are just, they want to hang around and trade or have fun, casuals. So yeah, the biggest thing is just to have good personality, and don't be afraid to have some fun.
That seems like pretty good standard. So if that sounds like your kind of franchise, definitely check them out. I'm sure there'll be links here in the video, but it's also in the IGL Discord. There's a franchise info channel to check them out. What about people who are maybe thinking about starting their own franchise? What advice would you give to them if they're thinking about starting creating their own org?
So the advice that I would probably give is try not to force it. Don't try to force something big to happen. Yeah, you could do some offshoot like recruiting, finding some people for the teams that you need, but I think honestly the best way to create like a wholesome organization that you truly love to be a part of is to just let it naturally happen, and let the people that you meet along the way and the communities that you are active in just just let it all happen naturally and let them, it'll just grow as it happens. So.
Were you? I think I forgot to ask you this about kind of the start of the Best Buds Club. Is this people that you knew in real life, or are these all people you've kind of met online through your gaming career?
So when it all started, the majority of the people were that I knew in real life, and that I just, either I conned in trying to play Rocket League and getting addicted, or people who have been playing with me from the start. And as we started growing, we kind of slowly met people, like, you meet friends through friends, and so we kind of started growing that way. So, but yeah, right now it's a good mix of, like, I know a handful of people in our organization, but I would say the majority of the people I haven't actually met in real life at this point. So, but yeah, I'd say a good healthy mix.
That's good. Yeah. Hey, that's kind of what it was like for IGL in the early days. I knew everybody through like our Tappers Takeover events, at least for the most part, right? We met pretty much everybody in person, and we've just kind of grown. And I don't think really a surprise here that at 7,000 players today, I do not indeed know everybody in IGL, but I like getting to know people when I can, and that's what gaming and these communities, the franchises and IGL, it's all about. Like you said, it's a good opportunity to meet people, have some fun, and just enjoy yourself doing what we all love to do, gaming, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So let's touch on one more thing here with the franchises, because obviously, I think you were. I'm trying to remember. I think you were around before franchises existed, and they got added in, and then some other stuff's been added to them, and more's coming, which I think you've seen the previews for. But what are maybe some other features that you're hoping to see added to the franchise program in the future?
I would say one thing that would be, and this may be what's coming in with the new with the new I guess added the new added features that you have. I'm not sure if this is included, but I know one thing that would make it a lot more of a fluid experience as a franchise owner would be, and even like say like people that you can dictate as like managers within your club, is being able to have like full access to, like, say like, our franchise has 10 teams playing in this season, and say somebody needs to remove somebody from their team, it'd be kind of nice to be able to have like me, I would have the ability to fully manage this franchise and remove people from teams, add people from teams, so it kind of alleviates the pressure on people who are maybe too busy for it, or just don't have maybe don't know how to do it. So, but that's really the only thing that I would like to see as a feature. But other than that, I mean, going from, and this is one thing that I would want to add, is when I first, like before franchise and becoming a franchise in IGL, it's like night and day. Like it's like maybe a little self promo to, like, get your team franchise, but it's, yeah, there's so much more access that you have to IGL, and so much more opportunities to network with like other franchise owners and get involved, that it's really really cool to be able to be a part of all that and be a part of that growth. And I think that also helped my organization grow to what it is now, is just being able to meet so many more people, and like be really like just be able to be like really deep into the league. So, and be able to feel like your voice is a little more heard when you're actually committed to the league. So
Sure.
mhm.
Yeah, that's some good feedback, and like you said, there's a really good community of franchise owners there to get involved with and network with, and I think it's definitely helping everybody grow their communities as they're getting to interact with everybody in that way. But yeah, good stuff on the franchises. Let's get to the hard hitting questions now of just like the general industry, some different things going on. Um, I feel like there's been some like talk and some headlines about maybe some of like next gen games could potentially be $70. Um, how do you feel about that? How do you feel about a video game potentially being $70 just to get a chance to play it?
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a price tag. I guess for those of the people who have been around and seen the prices of video games go up, like I remember back when I was younger, it was like $40. So seeing it going to
Mm-hmm.
50, 60, 70, I guess I could see it being justified, just because of like the cost of inflation and the production, or like all the work that goes into making these video games. So it definitely hurts the wallet a little bit, but I don't think it'll deter me too much. So
Mm-hmm.
especially if the content is in the game and you actually it's worth buying for $70. So
Sure. Yeah, I think when you take inflation into account, it's kind of like a moot point almost. I mean, at first you hear 70 and there's like the sticker shock there, right? But I'm with you, like as I've grown up, it was 40, 50, 60. And it doesn't really seem like there's been a big decrease in people buying games or anything like that. So that'll probably be, with 70 likely being the next one, I imagine that's just, people are still going to be paying it. Would you pay $70 for Rocket League if Rocket League was $70?
um knowing what I know now, like how much I've played this game and invested in this game, personally, I probably would.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I mean, from the average person that's just wanting to try to pick up a game and play it and see if they even like it, um, I, I mean, if I didn't know what Rocket League was really going to be all about and that I was going to get this invested in it, I probably wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
buy it at $70. That's because it's just I feel like you get more out of the game as you play it and like through cosmetics. Like maybe if like all the cosmetics and all the extra content and decals, goal explosions, like if you were able to unlock all of that,
Mm-hmm.
I could justify that. But $70 for Rocket League, yeah, I mean,
I could see that, yeah. Because I mean, $70 is more of like at least by today's standards, right? $70 is getting towards that like collector's edition. You need to provide a little extra in-game cosmetics, that kind of stuff, in order to justify that. But I guess we'll see when the next gen consoles come out. Kind of what the plan is around that. I'm gonna go off script a little bit here because your comment actually got me thinking. Um, about talking about like certain games being free to play and $70 for a game, but maybe needing more with it. Um, what do you think about like? Do you think there's a trend where free to play is almost going to become the norm, and maybe we won't even see video games costing something here in like I don't know 20, 30, 40 years? Or do you think there's always going to be a place for those retail priced games?
that's a really good question. So
Yeah, I know that was a tough one. I didn't mean to put you on the spot, but like your comment just made me think like, hey, like,
yeah,
are we
yeah.
even gonna see? We're talking about games being priced at $70. Are we even gonna see video games cost money in the future with how well free to play games do?
I definitely could see it being possible. I hope it's not the case. But yeah, I think as long as there's the market for single player games and games that are very in depth, just like I guess a lot of content with the game coming off the shelf, I think there'll
Mm-hmm.
always be a price tag. I think it takes a certain kind of game to be able to be free to play. So um, yeah, I'll probably be safe and say I don't think that'll happen, but weirder stuff has happened, so we'll see.
Yeah, I think I pretty much completely agree with your assessment. I mean, there's always going to be the single player games where you buy it, you play it, and that's all there is to it, right? The free to play is a good model if you're adding in like battle pass and cosmetics and seasonal updates and all the stuff that can constantly change there that keeps people interested in playing over and over and spending more money, which is why the $0 upfront cost eventually probably ends up costing us all more. But hey, we all
Right.
get in for free, so we're all just like whatever. It's fine. Bringing it to Rocket League specific here, the big debate in the community. We'll get your answer to it. Do you feel that Rocket League should go free to play?
Um, I mean, I could see the argument for it because there's like huge opportunities to be able to make money after people get the game, by buying credits and uh, buying in-game items. I think I think if there's maybe like a $10 to $20 price tag, how it is, I think that'd be fair to keep it as that. Just
Mm-hmm.
because thinking about it this way, like looking at my Steam library, I have a ton of games that I downloaded for free, and even like on like I have a PlayStation as well. So like I have a ton of games like that I've downloaded for free that I've never touched. I just download them because they're free, but I've never played them. So I feel like if Rocket League went that way, people wouldn't even give it a chance. They would download it and they'd be like, "Oh, maybe I'll play it some other time." But like, I think once you pay something for a game, you feel invested to actually try it and give it like the old college try.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that, if you keep it at a low price tag but not free, maybe you'll have people that will actually purchase it, try it out, get addicted, and then they can take their money elsewhere. So
That's a good analysis there. That's a good point. I guess we'll see in the coming months and years what Psyonix and Epic elect to do with that. Talk about a little bit about maybe growing up playing video games. Did you have a favorite growing up, or is Rocket League kind of always was that maybe the first one that hooked you? Like, what's your video game career been looking like?
so Rocket League has been probably the the most played game I've ever uh, experience, or the most played game ever for me. But growing up, my first and most favorite game is The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. So that was my favorite game, and um, I'll have to be honest. Just it's a fun adventure game. It's very simple. A lot of caves and temples and all that in the game. It kind of I loved it to the point to where any other RPG or adventure game I played, it's just I can't compare it. So like anytime I play like the newer RPG games, I'm like, it's just not Legend of Zelda. So like I can't get into
Yeah.
those. So that, and probably the first game that I really started getting into competitively was a first person shooter called Return to Castle Wolfenstein.
Hmm.
And it was an online shooter that I actually like when I was in high school. I was playing it, and I was part of like some clan, and we had like clan wars and sort of basically like scrims with other teams, and we had like a website with like a record and all that fun stuff. So that was probably my first experience into the competitive gaming scene online.
That's awesome. Yeah, that sounds really fun. I know there are a lot of stuff going on like that with various shooting games where you had your clans and setting up the scrims and all that. What did you ever play Majora's Mask after Ocarina of Time?
I did, and I will say I definitely did enjoy it. Not as much though. It's just
Hmm.
it definitely had a different take to it, and I played through the whole game of that, and even continued on to Twilight Princess. So of course after that it kind of I guess the interest slowly was lost, but at least in the newer Legend of Zelda games. But yeah,
Sure,
Majora's Mask was definitely a fun game as well.
sure. I guess we've talked a little bit about the maybe upcoming next gen consoles. Of course, there's been a lot of new stuff released here. Actually, just as of recording this, there's the Ubisoft announcements all this weekend. They released that new battle royale called Hyperscape. Is there anything you're getting excited about coming up in the fall or winter, or any of the new consoles? I know you mentioned you had a PlayStation, so anything caught your eye here for these upcoming releases?
Yeah, so for me, I would say probably the biggest hype games that I'm looking forward to is the new Spider-Man game on PlayStation 5, the Miles Morales one.
Mm-hmm.
Because out of all the Spider-Mans, like I like the Marvel movies and the Marvel games. So I'd say the favorite Spider-Man of mine is actually Miles Morales. So when I saw that, I was just like, all right, I guess I'm gonna get a PlayStation 5 now.
Yeah.
So all right, just take my money, it's fine. So yeah, that's probably the most hype game for me at this moment.
That's awesome. I think I heard the other Spider-Man for PlayStation 4 was just absolutely amazing as well. So I'm excited to see how they follow that up, especially with, like you mentioned, a character who's as popular as Miles Morales has been lately. I mean, Into the Spider-Verse was awesome. I think I guess I don't really watch too many cartoons anymore, but I'm pretty sure that there's like a whole animated series as well. So yeah, that's gonna be pretty sweet. Did you play the Spider-Man game here for PlayStation 4?
Yeah, I've played that a lot. So it's definitely a fun game. It's one of my favorites. So definitely excited to see how they take it to the next with the next gen graphics and next gen processing speeds and all that fun stuff with
Yeah,
with the PlayStation 5.
I can't wait to see it all too. Should be pretty awesome. I think we're gonna close it out here with just one final little topic of discussion because we're gonna be having somebody on next week. So we're going to start this new segment here where we're going to ask you to maybe give us some questions for the guest for next week. Now, we're not going to tell you who next week's guest is or give you any hints or anything like that. But so we kind of want to keep it a little bit more like general and stuff, any sort of gaming related questions, any things you want to know about. We want to see if you have any fun questions we can ask next week's guest.
Yeah, definitely. I'll probably say the next week question could be, what's your favorite drink while playing video games?
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
You could go so many different directions with that, right? Because,
Yeah.
I mean, maybe people enjoy having a beer. Of course, there's energy drinks. Mountain Dew was always a classic in my World of Warcraft playing days. I'm excited to see the answer for that for next week. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Do you want to take a stab at answering your own question? Because now that you mentioned it, I'm really curious now.
Yeah. No, you're good. So I guess two different scenarios. If I'm especially for like right before an IGL match or something where I'm gonna try to focus up and get a little sweaty, probably drink some water or some Gatorade. But if I'm just having some fun, I'd probably say some sort of whiskey concoction. I like, and my favorite's an old fashioned. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of an infinity whiskey?
No, I have not. What is that?
Okay. I highly suggest it as a whiskey drinker myself. So I'm making it myself now too. So
Okay.
it takes a while to make, but essentially what you do is every whiskey or bourbon or whatever you get, take a shot of it and put it into like a decanter or some other glass that, a large glass that you can store all this in. And you take a shot of every whiskey that you drink, and then it all blends together into what's called an infinity whiskey.
Oh.
I'm very excited to try mine. This is the first time I'm doing it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely have to try that. I do have a decanter, so I may have to try that later tonight.
There you go. You can get it started. You can get it started tonight here.
Yeah.
Well,
no match tonight, so.
Nice. Well, Dilly Bar, thanks so much for being on the show, man. It was great getting a chance to talk with you. I think before we let you go, we'll just give you the floor here for shout outs, let people hear a little bit more about Best Buds Club and if there's anywhere they can go to find more information.
Yeah. So, if you want to check us out, the Best Buds Club, you can see our Discord invite through IGL. I know there's a section for that. Other than that, Best Buds Club Network on Twitch. If you want to watch any of our streams, we got a couple people that usually cast every week. They cast at least most of a lot of our matches. And cast one-off things. So, but yeah, I guess shout out to you for letting me be a part of this fun little Tnow Talk, and excited to see what happens with IGL in the future.
Appreciate that. We're glad to have you on here. You've been such an awesome member of the community, and it was great getting a chance to sit down and talk with you today here. So make sure that everybody, check out the links in the description below, because we'll get all the information down there that Dilly Bar mentioned, and tune in next week because we're going to have another guest on episode 3 of Tnow Talks. Appreciate you hanging out here today, Dilly Bar. We'll go ahead and I'm going to wave goodbye to the audience because we did it with Sunless. So that's a wrap. Thanks so much for tuning in.
All right. Thanks, Tnow. Y'all have a good one.
Episode 2 of Tnow Talks is in the books. Big thanks to Dilly Bar for coming on to the show with me here today. We want to hear what you guys have to say. We talked a lot about next-gen consoles. What are some of your favorite games? What are you excited about? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. As always, make sure you like the video, hit that subscribe button, and enable notifications so that you can know when the next episode of Tnow Talks and all the other awesome videos that are coming out here are going live. We'll have another episode of Tnow Talks next Friday, so we'll see you then.